shit. I forgot it. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Hi. I'm like, hey, Jem, hey, Joyce, hey, Jared. Oh, hi, everybody. Sorry about that. You know what? I was just like, I got here and I'm looking down. I'm like, what am I missing? My freaking notes. The printer was out of paper, so I had to quickly go print those off. All right, welcome to tonight's lesson on, of course, command versus request and the power of your words. Hey there, Laura, sweet bee. Hi, Vicky, sweetheart. Oh, lovely to see you. Glad that you're here as well. All right, so, and by the way, I told you I wasn't going to take these off, right? You guys thought I was playing. I love these. And again, the fantastic, lovely Tamiki knitted this for me and sent it to me. And I'm just like, man, it's been cold. So I have been happily enjoying the heat because it's been cold today, even though it's supposed to be warm. Anyway, hi there, Alicia. Lovely to see you as well, sweetheart. Alrighty, so command versus request, the power of your words. Now, what we're going to be doing tonight is there is going to be an exercise that is going to be at you closer to the end, but really it's all about using our willpower and understanding what's happening with our words, with our tone, with our frequency and our vibration every time you actually speak and whatever it is that you may be speaking. Now, this is really, really important because today is, of course, a portal. It is January 11th, 111, right? All about making wishes. If you watch the Synchronicities lesson the other day, you'll know that 111 is you have choices on multiple different timelines to choose. So today is about knowing what you want because your manifestations are going to be coming on in. Hey, Barbara, sweetheart. Welcome, honey bun. Hey, Mars, sweetie. So hi, Nicole. Oh, I love everybody that comes in. All right. I love everybody who's not coming in too, but I still love you guys though. But anywho, it's so because we are currently in a portal, and of course 2022 is there, so staying in the present moment, and also 222 adds up to 6 at the same time, so letting loose at the same time. Hi there, Elio, sweetheart. Welcome, honey bun. Now, because we are there, it is really, really good that if you are taking this class and this lesson at the very end, let's look at the things that you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve, because they will be our example of how you put command into your voice and your energy versus just simply requesting whatever it is that you want from the universe. Hey there, Jackie. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Denise, sweetheart. Welcome, you guys. All right, so, and Elena, hello, sweet pea. Okay, so let's get crack-a-lackin'. Now, I do have my notes that I have written for this lesson. This is my own personal automatic writing, and you may be like, wow, this is what this lady does with her own time to automatic write? Yes. Yes, this is what I do. It's what I enjoy. I'm a super nerd. Okay, so let's begin this as we go. To many, words are simply phrases used to communicate with each other. Some think it's easy, and others complex or hard. But what are words but our thoughts amplified? And what are our thoughts? Where did they originate from? From our emotions. The energy within a command holds emotions, amplified and released. A command will code the universe and form it into your A command will code the universe and form it into your reality versus a request. A request can form the universe as well, however, at a slower pace. Why is the pace slower? because you have to wait. Normally, I wouldn't want anyone to wait. However, the focus of your heart is what you want and command versus what you don't command. Expectations can be used as fear, as a fear command. So can miscommunication of words and interpretations of those words. So let's break that down. And hi, Sylvia, sweetheart. Laura, I started doing automatic writing in the mornings. It's an amazing thing to do. Isn't it though? You get all the good shit. It's better than TV, I'll tell you that much. So let's break that down before we go on into some of the examples. So again, to many, the words themselves are simply phrases used to communicate with each other. Some people find this easy and some people find it complex or hard. Now, I want you to really think about that, because this class should help you shift your perspective and look at your words within a way of, source command versus just simple speech and communication. Yes, it's wonderful that we communicate with each other through words in whatever language that it is, but truly what we are trying to communicate in the moment is where our frequency is, what we are vibrating at. And that's normally what will come out in the beginning anyway, or in the end anyway. So why is it easy for some? Some are just very naturally expressive. And they have no problem with letting their emotions flow, and whatever wants to come out comes out of them. And they use their words for that. However, there are other individuals who may be shy of their emotions or scared of their emotions, or just not used to expressing very much. And they can find the words harder to come out. Social anxieties also hold a huge key within giving people fear of communicating. But again, that doesn't mean that your words hold any less value, whether you're saying a lot of them or whether you're saying a little bit of them. But either way, they are of that value. So a command will code the universe and form it into your reality. And I want you to think about that too. Let's just talk about commands. Command is a word that not a lot of people actually enjoy. And the reason that they don't enjoy it is because a lot of people are already in service or a form of servitude. So they receive commands all day long. Now, when they receive a command, whether it be a command from their children, their partner, their workplace, society, or just whatever that command may be, many people don't want to fulfill a command. So when they think of the word command, they don't want to associate it with themselves. Like, I'm not a commanding person, or maybe you are in a position where you are of authority and you need to give out a command, then perhaps your association with the word isn't going to be very bad. However, I'm just saying, I'm connected to a lot of people. A lot of people don't like the word command. They just don't. However, if you do not enjoy that physical word, or if that physical word puts you off, that is also going to affect the strength in your will when a command does need to come out. Because at the end of the day, whether you want to accept it or not, you are the creator of your own world, of your own universe. And everything that is formulated within what you experience is from your direct command of your own energy. Now, you can command it within your awareness, or you can command it within a place of fear. And we're going to go through some of those examples. But either way, it is being done. Now, a request to the universe can also form the universe. So just because you're making, when you are asking like, hey, universe, please do this for me, please. It's not saying that it doesn't happen just because you're making a request, but it does make the universe slow down a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, going back into it here, let's have a look here. Your heart, normally the universe doesn't want anybody to wait. But your heart is what you want. It will manifest what you want and command versus what you're not commanding. So kind of think, if you command it, it happens faster. It gets put into the line of things to be done where it's like, yes, check, 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 check. However, if you're sitting simply going, oh, well, I'm going to request something, well, then that just gets pushed over to the side, right? So just think about that. How often are you requesting things from the universe versus commanding things from the universe? That should also be a good signification as to why your manifestations either come in quickly or maybe not as quick as well. Hey there, Larry. Hey, Juan. It's lovely to see you guys. All right. So carrying on. And by the way, if you have any questions, or if you're just like, yo, can you explain that again? Please pop it in the comments. Let me know and I'll come back on you. All right. So, for example, though, Expectations. So we're going to be going on to the expectations that can be used as a fear command. So again, you can program the energy within positivity, within your truth, within your core, or you can program the energy within fear. So a command is a command, whether it is within fear or whether it is within positivity, doesn't matter. The universe is still going to fulfill that command because that is exactly what it is, right? Versus a request. Now, so when you are when a command is being used in fear, there's a specific example for that, and also for miscommunication of words, or the interpretation of those words that you're using. So, for example, expecting someone to fulfill your wishes is not the same as commanding your own heart's energy and flow, right? Because again, just because you say, I command this. Now, if you are focusing your energy on somebody else, to be like, yo, I command that you fulfill this part or this expectation or this, I command you to fill in this paperwork or do anything like that, right? So you cannot alter another person's, if they are another source fractal, you cannot alter their flow by simply commanding it, right? Which then, you got to think, if you are trying to enforce a command onto another living being, right, which has their own sovereigns, that's not going to work out. Just the same way as somebody cannot physically come up to you off the street and say, I command you to take me downtown. You'd look at him and just be like, fuck you. And walk away, right? Hey there, Horton, sweetheart. It's lovely. Oh, Kana, it's lovely to see you, honey, but sorry about that, twins. Larry, I'm guilty of miscommunication of words. Right, so hopefully this one will help you at the end of the day. Alrighty, so let's go. So another person holds their own source code and can flow the energy regardless of your command or wish. So at that moment, it is a battle of wills versus commands, right? So the result will feel more like fear as your intent to command fails due to the opposing force. And there's Orton. Hi, Orton, sweetheart. Got you there eventually. So again, let's put that into perspective. Somebody cannot command you to take you down to the street. They can try to force your will, or it can be a battle of wills where you're like, why? And then they'll be like, because I said so. And you'll be like, no, Or if they have a very imposing stature to them, you may be like, okay, sure. But either way, it was a battle of your willpower, because a command cannot be issued upon another source fractal, right? Or upon another individual who can flow the energy or has their own will. Now, miscommunication of language and words are also, they also work in a very similar way. So, for example, say if a person is feeling very overwhelmed is a common phrase. So, a lot of people feel overwhelmed. Just think of the last time you felt overwhelmed. Perhaps it was a massive energy increase, or perhaps it was, you were bogged down at work, or just overwhelmed with family life or social bits. Hi, Clinisha, sweetheart. Welcome, honey bun. If you're bogged down and you're like, shit, I just feel overwhelmed, right? A common phrase spoken in that moment is, I can't cope anymore. How many people have said that, in your lifetime? Just think back of you. So like, I can't cope with this shit. I can't do this anymore. I just can't. A lot of people will say, yeah, I've said that one time or another. Now, this in the moment of fear, because when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like, I can't cope anymore, that's in fear. Fear is felt within the emotions, okay? And will be stated as a command and taken as such to form your reality, which usually results in further hardship. So, again, let's look at that. Saying, and we're focusing on the words here and the intention and the feelings and emotions that are going into I can't cope in that moment. You're already feeling overwhelmed and weight and stressed or heavy, right? And the emotion that you're feeling is that of weight, of stress, of heaviness. Now, with you saying, I can't cope, that is then attached to that feeling. And that is a command. You are saying, I can't do this. You're not saying, I may try not to do this. Or you're not saying, I don't know, I don't know if I can do it or not. You're saying, I can't, which is a command. So, and at that point, the universe will be like, okay, you can't do this. So let's push on that pressure. Let's push on the energies, or let's form the reality so that you cannot cope, because that is what you have commanded in the energy. So now let's change this. So to change the wording in the same situation from I can't cope to I want to get through this, right? So again, overwhelmed, I want to get through this. So again, you're still feeling the same pressure, right? But instead of going to the can't, is I want. Now, however, I want implies a future intent, right? Versus a solid command in the present. To gain a solid command in this situation, you would need to apply your willpower, and your willpower energy should be applied for the best result, really. Now, and then if you were to say the phrase, I am getting through this, right? This will result in more of a positive command, and thus the energy will be manipulated for you on a faster basis, right? Oh, Sylvia, the screen keeps freezing for you? Oh, shit. Is anybody else having technical issues? On my end, it seems all right. Nothing's freezing or nothing's pausing or nothing's going on. But if you guys are having some troubles or technical issues, let me know. Otherwise, Sylvia, it may be your connection. So if it keeps freezing, you can exit and then come back in and see if that works. I hope it works. It sucks when it's freezing. Clinisha, you're all right? Okay. So yes, Sylvia, exit out and come back in and see if that works. Joyce, you're okay too? Okay. Laura, it's still freezing for you. Okay. Well, hopefully, if you are experiencing some freezing, it seems that it is going to be case sensitive. So pop on out, pop back in, and see what happens. Okay. Elio, I guess the I am is powerful. Yes, I am is one of the most powerful phrases that you can say, because it definitely does command and direct the energy to be like, okay, if you were to say, I am a goldfish, but you really put the emotion behind it, then you would find that you would have the same feelings of a goldfish, because you'd be like, you're physically telling your energy, your cells inside, to be like a goldfish, although you will still be in human form, but you will feel very much so like a goldfish. So yes, I am is very powerful. But so again, let's go back to I want though. I want, again, implies a future intent. So if you are saying I want, that's not right now. That's the universe going, okay, well, if you want it, you are in a place of wanting. So as you are in a place of wanting, that can't be in the present. Wanting is for the future, because whatever you want isn't here yet, right? So and that's why it's looked at as a request, because it's like, all right, well, put that on the back burner. You haven't commanded it, so it'll come whenever it synchronizes back into the energy fields, right? So hence why it's not that you can't receive it, it just takes a little bit longer to do so. All right, so more so, though, the energy can be felt in words as well as in the heart simultaneously when a command is made, or when a command is met. So what do we mean by that? I want you to think of moments in your life where you had a really strong energy or strong emotion. Maybe you were angry, or maybe you were really happy, or maybe you were feeling like super sensual, or maybe you were just feeling so in love in that moment that you had to express it. Now, when you are expressing a strong emotion and when you are literally speaking it, that is a very strong command. So just think, if you're ever like, am I commanding my energy or am I simply just requesting, right? Regardless of what it is, if you have an emotion attached to your words, and you can definitely feel it, then you'll know this is a command, right? And then it kind of gives you more of a perspective to kind of see what you are commanding. Really catch the words, the linguistics that you are using. Like, what are you truly saying? And this is why I always recommend, especially if you're at the beginning of your journey, keep an etymology book, or just an app on your phone or something where you can see the true origin of a word, right? Understand what it is you're saying, because regardless of whether you understand what the word is or not, if it is being spoken within an emotion, it will manifest into that. If you are not aware of what your emotions are meaning or what the commands that you're saying are, that's where you need to educate yourself and get the awareness of that. And you do so by just simply looking into it. Just be like, wait a second, what am I truly saying when I say I can't do this? Is it a negative or is it a positive? Do I want to say that anymore? Yes, no, maybe so. If the answer is, yeah, I do actually, I think that's really positive, then freaking keep going. But if you find like, you know what, it's actually a bit of a negative, then perhaps look into how you can express this emotion or this energy without being in the negative, such as going from, I can't cope anymore to, I am getting through this. The exact situation is completely the same, but there are two different ways that you can communicate a command, right? Larry, yes, I am learning syntax and communication to the universe. It's very important. Yes, definitely. Amishtal, oh yeah, seems to make sense why monks tend to stay silent. Yeah, there's definitely that, because you don't want to waste your words. And there's also one of the reasons why, for example, like, I don't waste my words on anybody or anything. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm like, I ain't gonna do it. I would rather stay silent. However, it is still nice to communicate and talk. Barbara, I've always used to tell my kids, can't is not in your vocabulary, right? And for good reason, because, it is a spell. Whether it is written down or spoken, it is still a spell. Okay, so, making sure I'm still on time here. Let's go in with some practices. So we're going to be practicing some phrases below to feel the difference in frequency when positioning your heart forward or allowing your command to come out with your heart, and making a command versus making a request. So if you would like to join in with me on this one, you can definitely have some water. I definitely recommend some water because you'll be connecting to me, and let's make the most out of this and get it through. Larry, what versus why is also super powerful. Yes, there are so many different ways we can do it, and I actually have this written down here. I actually do have some notes here to go through, but I didn't do it. So yes, so versus I can versus I will versus I am, and then I can't versus I won't, and so on as well, goes in there. But there's loads of different ways, and again, it really does depend on what you also feel, the emotions at that moment, and which word exactly you're using to express it, right? Okay, so like we said, we are going to get on to a little bit of some practice now. Water is always a wonderful thing to have. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, firstly, let's make a command. And I want to describe the feeling of a command to you, all right? Now, whenever I make a command, there is, like, don't get me wrong, I'm always wielding my energy, but there's only particular times when I really feel I need to enforce a command. Usually that is when I've had quite enough nonsense or, aggravation or anything thrown towards the heart. I'm like, no, we're going to stop this shit. So, but even so, I will describe to you the feelings that I have anyway as I do go through a command. So, the first thing you do is you're feeling your heart and feeling your emotions. You're understanding why. Why is it that you want to communicate this at this very moment, right? And you have to have a solid resolve. The more solid to the truth that you are, or resonation with that feeling and the words, the more they match up, the stronger or amplification your command is going to be. Now, a command literally feels like a tingle or a ripple of energy pulsating from your heart, and it vibrates through you, right? Think of if your heart just spoke, or your heart just shook, and now you have waves of energy that are coming or pulsating from the center. Now, for some individuals, it can also come through as you're speaking, your teeth. The vibration of this command of your heart can make your teeth, you can feel it. Also, your tone can become very clear, very, very clear, or a little bit lower, kind of like you're summoning the power from your insides to come out and really kind of roar, in that kind of way. Not to say that you have to be loud or that you have to like, wow, project, but literally that's what the feeling feels like. It's a very strong vibration in that kind of sense. So certain tones will be very overpowering and others will be a little soft. So when we are going through the commands, or when we're going through this, this practice, you may have to do it a couple of times just to find your own tone. If your pitch is a little too high and it causes strain, it's not going to be quite there. If your pitch is too low and it's forced, it's not going to be there. It's really very clear, right, as it comes out. So what we want to do is I want you to first select a mental or emotional challenge that you have been facing lately. Okay? So just take a minute, have a think about it. What have you really, really been challenged over lately? You know, for some of you, it may just be letting go of the past. Others, it may be fear of moving forward in the future. Maybe you don't trust yourself. Others, you may be like, hey, I struggle with having emotional courage in the moment to face my empathy and face all the demons that have been around. Whatever it is, you know, what is something you have been doing that has challenged you mentally or emotionally lately? I'm going to go keep sipping water. Okay. Right. Now that you know what has been challenging you emotionally and physically lately, what we are going to do is we are going to connect to our heart and we are going to connect to our third eye, and we are going to issue a command first to physically, the intention is to physically dislodge the energy and let it reconnect and form. So for example, if you've had fear pulling your energy over to the right, and this is causing you confusion or feeling like you are lacking or that you cannot achieve this, we are going to dislodge it, shake it off, and allow your energy to realign so that you can feel more of your command and get rid of fear, right? So that's the intention that we are going to use. So that is going to be a physical dislodging. Some of you should feel it in your heart and in your mind's eye as you start to connect. And others will feel just literally the emotional dislodging at the same time, just to get you to where you need to be. Now, that is the first intent that we are going to do, and I'm going to guide you through that in just a moment. But also, when it comes to that intention, keep an idea of what you physically want to achieve when you have your emotional challenge in place. So, for example, if it is, I want to get over my fear of heights, right? So firstly, let's dislodge the fear. We're going to put it back in together with our will and our command. And then afterwards, once we are dislodged and we're aligned, then we are going to command our energy to solve the problem in whatever fashion that you want it to afterwards. So we're going to do that. Sylvia, fear about someone else. Okay. So if you have a fear about somebody else and it is, wow, I'm not going to say not just, but you know, it's not serving you, then yeah, let's get rid of it. So just think of that person or the fear of this person and what you want to do with the energy afterwards, which I would be like, there is only I am here. And I say that because when your heart is here, there's nothing to fear, whether it be from somebody else or from nature or whatever it is, right? Nothing to fear. However, again, put it in your own words at the time. Alrighty, so let's us begin. Let's get ourselves nice and relaxed, firstly, okay? Because we are going to definitely start to feel good. All right, Larry, control on divine timing. Just before I was about to get in there, but Larry, you kind of touched on something that can be a little conflicting, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want control on divine timing, just think of what that means. The universe runs off of a very, very sophisticated algorithm, right? Your heart's energy can flow a lot. So it's kind of like saying, I want control over the flow of my own blood, right? You want to consciously be in control of the flow of your own blood. To be honest with you, there is so much complexity going on inside of you that if you were to take control over your own blood, there would be traffic jams, clots everywhere, some blood would be here, not enough blood would be there, and so forth, right? So to control your own blood flow in that way, it can cause a lot of malfunctions. So instead of having control over divine timing, I would heavily suggest accepting divine timing, right? Accepting the timing as to whatever is happening in your world, in your universe at this very moment. Let it be so. To know and to be comfortable and to trust yourself and know that you are exactly where you need to be within this flow of the divine timing. I'm just putting that out as a suggestion. I'm putting it out as a suggestion because at the end of the day, if you command the energy to be like, yeah, no, I want to control this, then the universe would be like, all right, you do it. And sit back and watch you fuck a lot of shit up. I'm sorry. To be honest with you, I tried it myself when I was a newbie. And I was just like, I want to control this. And it was just like, all right, go ahead and try it. I'm like, shit. So again, acceptance. Larry, yes, that's what I need to do. Accept. Exactly. There you go. The control is what I need to overcome. Excellent. So that is a wonderful command, you know. And so when you are making this command, put it on yourself that is like, no, I will accept divine timing. Because at the end of the day, your heart truly knows that divine timing is divine for a reason, right? Because it's very precise. You get what you want when you get here. So anyway, okay. Okay, alrighty. So let's go back into this and let's get ourselves nice and sorted. So I will or I am accepting. I would say I am because that signifies in this present moment that you're going low. No, I am accepting this. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like, nope, acceptance. That will start to rewire your energy. All right. Okay, let's get started on this. So as you are nice and hydrated, I want you to just loosen yourself up and just be all loosey-goosey. We're going to get into our feelings here. Now, as you know what it is that you want to overcome in your challenge, right? Firstly, we are going to align your mind and your heart, okay? Or your third eye and your heart. Because at the end of the day, in order for manifestations to truly come on, you need to marry your heart, and you need to know what it is that you're directing and have it communicated up here as well, okay? So I want you to take 4 really deep breaths in. So as you are breathing in, you are accepting the light, you're accepting clear energy that is going to fuel you in your command and give you the energy and the emotions required in order to fulfill your command. So let's breathe in as far as you can go and just let it all out. Every time you let the energy out, you are letting out all of the bullshit that has been in your thoughts, in your mind's eye. You are letting all of that shit go, okay? Because that is the bullshit that will not be allowed to come into your commands ever again, okay? So breathing in. Let the bullshit go. It is coming out as air. It's not being commanded at all. The bullshit's coming out. And breathing in again. And last time. Perfect. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is, as you are now loosey-goosey and feeling nice, you're going to take your right hand. Okay? Now, your right hand is connected to your heart's energy. Feel your heart's energy inside of your chest. It is going to be bright and shining. It's going to feel really, really fantastic. Hey, Hazel, sweet pea. Right? It's going to, and hi, Shaker. So focus on the heart space and just be like, what does this feel like? For those of you who are participating, I am going to come in there and I'm also going to just tap you on the shoulder just to give you a little bolster in your energy today so that we can keep our frequencies nice and clean. Okay. Right? Now, once you have that feeling of your heart's energy and you have that connection, you are going to imagine that light is coming down your shoulder through your right hand, through your right arm and up to your right hand. Now, as you feel this, your hand is now going to glow with the same white energy, white light that is just pulsating. Some of you, you should start be able to feel the little tingles in your hand as if you have this nice glow surrounding your hand's energy. All right? It tingles a little bit, doesn't it? All right. So visualizing this is really going to help. If you are struggling with visualization, just feel. You can just close your eyes, focus, and just feel the energy coming out and coming to your hand. There you go. There's a little bit more tingles happening. All right. Now, if you're ever just like, wait a second, is it really there? Slowly bring your hands together and knowing that your hand has that energy, right? And you should start to feel the compaction. A little bit warmer on both your hands. And then you don't want to touch, but slowly draw your hand away and it almost feels like, and you can keep going like this and you can feel almost like you had invisible goo in between your hands, just kind of opening and closing, opening and closing. Okay. So you've got your energy in your hand. Now what you're going to do is you're going to place your right hand over your heart space. Now for some of you that should be a nice tingle. And you're going to imagine that light that is coming from your heart, going down to your hand, is now being pushed back into your heart. So it's going to amplify, self-generating, right? Energy in this moment. All right. You are then going to take your left hand and the same thing. You have, again, a pulsing white light coming from your left hand. Now your left hand is going to come and you are going to cover your third eye. Now, with our intention, as mentioned, we are dislodging any of the fears or the emotional or mental causes that have caused you to not achieve the things that you've wanted to achieve. You are, with your will, you are going to say, dislodge and connect. Dislodge and connect. Now, you are going to have to work on your tones for some of you. You will know that the command is in place because you will feel it both in your heart, that ripple, that tingling sensation, and it will vibrate through you, okay? Dislodge and connect. Say it a few times in different ways to help you find that clarity and that command in your voice. Know that in this moment, you are not asking for it to dislodge. You are telling that shit to dislodge. All right? You are telling the fear and the blockages to get the fuck out of Dodge because you will not allow it to be here any longer. And when you are saying connect, you are telling your energy to connect. Having a clear connection between your heart and your mind's eye. And again, dislodge and connect. There we go. Some of you are feeling that, eh? I'll say it one more time. Dislodge and connect. And I'm just feeling you guys who are joining in. See, after the command, there's almost like a feeling of being a little weightless, but also deeper at the same time. Like yes, clarity in the eyes. It becomes easier to open your eyes. It becomes easier to stand taller, right? Because you have just said, dislodged it and reconnected it. How have you guys been doing on that one? Let me know some of your feedback and then we can move on. Right. Also, while I'm waiting for your feedback there, trust your instincts now, okay? And with your will, command the energy and say what you wish to do, right? Regarding your challenge. So we're going to do that in just a moment, but let me know how you're feeling. That feels good, Larry? That's good. That's good. Sorry. I was just feeling... I know I kind of spaced out there for a second. Jared, I feel the creeping in fears faded away. Excellent stuff. Larry, yes, you feel good? Okay, fantastic. Yes, awesome, warm feeling, Barbara. Excellent, that's what we like. All right, it does feel nice, right? When you truly just like, nah, get the shit out of here, right? Really incite that. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. Okay. Jam feels good, a little swirl and tingly. Excellent. Joyce, I feel good and warm. Fantastic. See, these are all these wonderful things. Okay. So, if we're all feeling really good now, and we have that connection, right? Our mind's eye is more clear. We feel that strength within us. Now what I want you to do is, within your power and in that will and that command as well, speak it out loud. Let your words, and know that as you are speaking this, you are formulating the energy around you. You may not be able to see it, but you can sense it. All right? You can sense this. So, with that being said, focus on the challenge that you want to get rid of in this now moment. All right? The challenge you want to overcome, whether it be acceptance, whether it be just being myself, being authentically me, whether it is overcoming something that you have in the future. I want you to see the clear outcome as to what you want, and now you are telling that energy, right? This is what it is. Okay? And Sylvia, you feel relaxed? Oh, nice. That's a good one. All right? So whatever state that you're in, if you feel good and warm, a little tingly, relaxed like Sylvia, command that shit. Because you don't have to be all to command anything. You can sit back, relax, and just be like, it is what it is. You know that it's there. All right. So for those of you who have already made that command, then by all means tell us how you felt afterwards. For those of you who are still having a little bit of trouble, have a look at if you're having some trouble feeling. Because again, when we are stating this command, it is a form of strength, and a lot of willpower goes into it. If you have been taught to cower, if you have been taught to lower yourself, or if you have just been have a natural habit of second guessing yourself or saying, I don't know if I can do this, will this happen, all of this kind of stuff, then if you're feeling that, then go back to the step one where you are connecting your mind and your heart and your mind, because we got to dislodge that bullshit, right? Larry, I felt calmer after issuing the command. Fantastic. Avishtal, I should definitely do this more often. I hope so, because it's much nicer. The more you do it, the more you are using these commands with a focused intent, the faster you see your manifestations and the manipulation of space-time warp into your existence that you want. And it's fantastic. It is a little difficult when you have to work alongside others sometimes, especially if your empathy is getting really, really strong, and you have to kind of take note of, are you receiving commands from others because you're absorbing their energy, or are you truly commanding this for yourself, right? So as you develop, you're going to have a look at that. But yeah, the more you do it, the more you become aware of it, and the more you filter through all the rubbish and get all the good stuff out. Barbara, I got chills. All right, that's going through, the spiritual awakening chills, where everything, you get goosebumps everywhere, and you're like, holy shit, what was that? That is a formulation of, or your vessel telling you, shit, I feel that strong energy of truth. Joyce, I feel relaxed. Excellent. I love it when people say they feel relaxed after that. That usually tells us that you're tense or have a hard time letting loose. So the fact of the matter is, when you connect your mind and your heart and you're like, I just want to relax. That's a beautiful thing, right? Just allows you to just be free for a moment. Larry, I've been making subliminals that have these I am commands to reinforce this in my subconscious. Excellent. Talking about the subconscious as well, you have the ability to speak to your subconscious. A lot of people don't think that they do, but every consciousness that you have, that you hold, whether it is emotional consciousness, material consciousness, subconsciousness, is your consciousness. And because it is your consciousness, you have the ability to speak to it, to manipulate, to flow that energy wherever you want to go. So if you are finding that your subconscious is running quite loose, I definitely recommend facing it at one time. Like, so for example, if it is reinforcing packs of fear within you, or paths, P-T-H, paths of fear within you, then speak to that part of you. Summon it up with your will. Say, no, I'm going to speak to this little fucker. You know, bring it up, bring it on. So, okay, you don't have to say it's a little fucker, but you can, of course, you can sit with yourself and get to know that part of your energy. Now, if it is plagued with fear, it's not going to feel very good. However, once you hear it for what it is, once you see it for what it is, commanding and manipulating the energy that it controls at that time through your own will can then be halted at a much faster pace. Yeah, Lisa, sit with her. Yeah, or sit with him, or sit with that level. I definitely agree. Larry, my theory, if I speak it as well as reinforce it in my subconscious with subliminal in my own voice, it will be more comfortable. That's exactly it. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is another reason why when we were speaking of, affirmations, face them. Well, they're only a fucker for a little bit, and then you understand. Once you reprogram it to, to have the subconscious of your heart, where your vessel is running off of programs of positivity, then you're all good. But while it's in the fear and the negative start, yeah, it's a little fucker. But okay, so affirmations. Using your commands within affirmations really, really helps. There's some people who will get an affirmation and they will listen to it, like they'll go to YouTube and just be like affirmations, and you can listen to it, but it's not as strong as if you were to simply record yourself saying the same affirmation and then listen to that on repeat. Now, if you're recording yourself listening to or listening to your own affirmation or subliminal, as Larry is doing, I would definitely recommend redoing it within a status where you have connected your heart and your mind, and you have issued the command, because then it's going to be on repeat, and that strength and that emotion generated is going to start to literally flood from you at a more amplified rate. So versus, and don't get me wrong, your energy is carried throughout this at the same time. So this is why I say it's really important to get that command right, because I definitely know that there are people who will, for example, say things like, I am worthy, I am truthful, I am the best me ever, right? However, when they're saying, I'm worthy, I'm truthful, I'm the best me ever, there's conflict on the inside. They don't truly believe what it is that they're saying. Like, don't get me wrong. That's why we're doing the affirmation in the first place, because we want to overcome it. But for one moment, you have to pretend, at least pretend, that you are, no, I am worthy. I am full of light. I am me. I am free. You have to say it as if you are in it right this very moment, and that will issue the command, right? So that when you replay it, you are replaying it within the emotion of command. All right, I think I've spoken a lot on that one. You're going to try that? Okay, excellent. I love it. I love it. So, with that being said, I guess today is a little bit of a shorter lesson. I've got about 12 more minutes left. So please, let's have this open in terms of open discussion. What is it that, if you have any other questions based on this, or if there is just any general questions that you have as well, I will be here for the next 12 minutes, and let's talk about it. But I suppose in the meantime, what were some commands that I would do, or what was the first time I felt a command so strong? Oh my gosh! Okay, I will. The very first time that I truly had to enforce the command, I was sitting. It was after I did a live lesson. This was back in 2018, and ethereally, I was speaking to, I had a lot of spirits that were around me, helping, guiding, and so forth like that. But there was a little bit of entity infiltration in between some of the energies, because the spirits that I had worked with, they were still connected to their original vessels, right? And two of them were very good friends of mine. So when they were around each other, their energy was kind of going through a hard time being conflicted, because as I was around them, I was bolstering their energy, which went back to their original vessel, and their original vessel's owners weren't really doing that intense inner work. So I was amplifying their energy. So again, the fear that was in their hearts from the vessel would transfer through onto the connection. And that's how the energy kind of got in there. But either way, they started fighting. And you know, because you're telepathic, you can hear conversations going on all over the place, or well, I could anyway at the time. So, and I heard them fighting, and it was only then where, because I always looked at them as, you know, you're my friends, you know, although I have the will and the authority to command your energy but I would never do that because you're my friends and I love you very much. But when they started fighting, that was the time where I had to settle my command, and I said, you don't do that. And at that point, it just, the air of the atmosphere changed very, very much. You know, kind of like, you know, if two kids are fighting and their mom goes, stop, you know, and then it's like, oh shit, sorry, you know, that kind of thing. So I did have to incite that, but I remember that feeling when I did that first command, because it was the command of my true inner voice, where it held absolutely no room for anything else. I know when I say no room for anything else, there's no room for, but this happened. Like, no, it was simply, that is what it is. And immediately burst out of my heart. And then the total atmosphere of the room changed. So I was just like, shit. And then I started using it on different things, such as, I would say, to experiment, I did a red ball experiment on myself. I said, I command, like, I will see a red ball as I'm going out. And I was just proving to myself that, like, I'm like, hey, will I actually see it or not? But either way, I got into my command and I said, I will see a red ball as I go out. And lo and behold, literally, I got into my car, drove around the corner, and there was a red ball. In somebody, like, laying on the side of the street in front of somebody's home. And I'm like, all right. And then I used my command in other ways too. So such as last year's summer, sorry, not 2021, but 2020, sorry, we're in 2022 now. So summer of 2020, I decided to experiment with nature. And I would go down to the dock on my walk, and I would program the energy into my hands when I would sit and put my hands in the water, and I would tell the seaweed or whatever was in there, I would tell it to part, and it would part. And then I'd say, return, and it would return. And then I did it with, well, to be honest, I saw here's some shit. I changed my wording from, so I was talking to the seaweed. Initially, I was talking to the seaweed and I said part and then come together. But then I realized, oh, I'm telling the water currents, which is flowing the seaweed, right? And I'm like, that's right, because I'm putting my hands in the water and saying, go and come together. However, I put my hands in the water again and I said, come to me, because I thought, oh, let's make the seaweed, you know, raise up a little bit. But instead, I said, come to me, and all the fishes came to me. And then the dock was swarmed by a shit ton of fishes, of little fishes, and I was like, holy shit! And then I'm like, go away. And they went away. And I was like, oh, okay, snap. But then I was like, was this a coincidence? So then I said, come to me again. And they swarmed the dock. And then, I saw people that were fishing, and I was like, go away, go away, go away. Because I'm like, I don't want you to be bait. You know, like, stay away from the fisherman. So I let them go. And then I'm like, oh, there's a difference between the words and when you are being commanded, right? At least no such thing as a coincidence. I know, you know what, and that's one of those things, right? Is because I experience all of these things, and I know the things I do, but at the same time, in that moment, there is the, oh, snap. Oh, that happened a lot faster than I thought it would be. Because I was very used to having my manifestations come through within 24 hours. So when they were coming in far more instantly, I was like, right, okay. But then I shifted my focus and I looked up into the sky instead. and I started to look at the clouds, and I would command them to disappear, or dissolve, or formulate. And I would just pick a cloud in the sky, and I really, really highly suggest that you guys give this a go, right? Pick a cloud in the sky, probably nicely on a nice clear day, or that it's a cloud that you can isolate so that you know it's that one, you know? And look at it, focus on it, and say, disappear. Tell it to disappear. Tell it to leave. Tell it to, command it to do what you want. And for myself, the cloud stopped where it was and just slowly just disappeared. And every single cloud I did that to did that. And I was like, all right. The bigger the cloud, the longer it took, but it did indeed disappear in the spot that I told it to disappear in, or formulate in the spot that we did want it to formulate in, right? So, please, I'm hoping that you can use this example as something to go try. Lisa, you're going to try this now? Fuck yeah, do it. I recommend it. Again, marry the heart and the mind in that moment, command it and know it and trust it and flow with it. Because it does work. And then you'll be like me going, wait a second, let me try that like 50 billion more times just to make sure that it wasn't anything else. And so I did. So please, I definitely recommend that you guys try it. All right? Those are just little ways to play around with it. But your command can be used in so many wonderful ways, you know, rather than just moving clouds around. You know, think of all of the other challenges that you are facing. Lisa, I trust. Good. That's excellent. Joyce, you'll try it? Excellent. I do hope you try it, right? And just clear your mind, let everything go, and just literally focus on it and see what happens. Now, don't get me wrong. I have about 68% of my energy goes into constant creation, right? So my energy is quite attuned to it. But if it happened with me within 30 seconds, it can definitely happen with yourself within 30 seconds. But if it takes a minute, give yourself a little bit of time just because, you know, everybody has a different energy level, right? Lisa, I command the crystal grid daily. Activate, baby. See, there you go. And wonderful things come out of that command, right? Okay, so that is really, if we have no other questions or anything like that, that is really the end of the class for tonight or this evening. If you would like, of course, more help on your spiritual awakening journey or some one-on-one time, pop over to the link in the description to my website and you can book yourself in or just have a look around. I definitely recommend the Learning Documents tab, although I haven't updated it in a while. But still, if you haven't read it, The Fractalization of Consciousness is a really good read. I definitely recommend going on that one. And also, if you enjoyed this class and you shared it or you want to share it, I appreciate you so much. Please get it out there. It's really lovely to see new faces and more people joining in to learn more about their, well, just more about their energy and increase their awareness. And if my words can help, then frick it, let's do it. Also, if you would like and you feel that you enjoy this spiritual awakening classes, but you're like, yo, if only you had a book Coolip up. I could just read it at my own pace or put it on audio and just get through it out there, then I definitely am still working on that. So if you would like to contribute to my book and to help me write it and get it out there to you as fast as possible, consider making a donation to my GoFundMe account or a PayPal link there to help me out with this book. I love you to pieces. The donations, what they go towards is literally physically the time it takes to write. So just think, for every booking I have, that's an hour of my time that I take away. But if you are giving me a donation, that means I spend that hour on writing instead. All right. Love you guys to pieces. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. And I will be back Thursday, same time, 6 p.m. MST, 7 CST, 8 EST, and 5 p.m. PST. I've done this so many times. I know the time zones now. Love you to pieces. Mwah. Sleep tight, guys. Bye.